Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome to Homeworld Remastered. So, with the previous space strategy series ended, I felt like it was time to return to another one of the classics of my youth, which is Homeworld. Came out in 1999, I believe. I played it quite a bit. Not multiplayer, because I'm not... Well, I was like 6 at the time when I started playing this thing. But yeah, it got remastered a few years ago, and I figured, hey, why not do the entire series, which is all 4 games, starting with Homeworld Remastered. I'll be doing them in order of release rather than chronological order, because otherwise we'd be playing Deserts of Kharak right now. Anyway, we shall get on with the business, starting with Mission 1, Kharak System.
"100 years ago, a satellite detected an object under the sands of the Great Desert. An expedition was sent. An ancient starship buried in the sand. Deep inside the ruin was a single stone that would change the course of our history forever. On the stone was etched a galactic map, and a single word more ancient than the clans themselves. Higara, our home. The clans were united, and a massive colony ship was designed. Construction would take 60 years. It would demand new technologies, new industries, and new sacrifices. The greatest of these was made by the scientist Karen Sajet, who had herself permanently integrated into the colony ship as its living core. She is now Fleet Command. The promise of the Guide Stone united the entire population. Every mind became focused on the true origin of our people. Every effort on the construction of the ship that would seek it out among the stars.
Scaffold control standing by.
All stations green.
You're cleared to approach. You got it.
Bays 8, 9, and 10 sealed.
Scaffold decks A, B, C secure. Decks D and E secure. Scaffold secure. All systems green. Release crew standing by. What a beautiful sight.
This is Fleet Command. Reporting Mothership relaunch status. Command online. Resourcing online. Construction online. Cryogenic subsections A through J online. K through S online. Scaffold control, stand by for alignment. Alignment confirmed. Stand by, release control.
All caliper banks released.
The mothership has cleared the scaffold. We are away. Stand by for command line testing.
Command line green. Initial fleet in position.
Course deleted.
And here we are.
Fleet intelligence going online. Our task is to analyze all sensor data and generate mission objectives. Before the hyperdrive tests, several trials must be completed. Test construction by building the primary research ship. Test resource processing by harvesting the asteroids provided nearby.
Hyperspace module charging. 35% capacity and rising. The mothership will be ready for the hyperdrive test in 10 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, we have cutscenes now.
Stand by to begin combat trials. First, we will be monitoring formation performance. Target drones have been provided here. Assign a formation to your fighters and destroy the drones.
Okay, so we're in game. Homeworld is a three-dimensional strategy game, which means if I use the Census Manager for just a second, you can see that we can. Obviously, there's a vertical plane. Well, no, horizontal plane, right? And you've got bearings as well. We can also select our scouts. Let's zoom in on them, shall we? Lovely, lovely scouts. We're going to set them to control group 1.
Designated.
Good, right, that's excellent. Our current objective is we need to destroy target drones using a formation. No, I want control group 1, thank you. So the way it's basically teaching us about combat. There is a tutorial before this, but it's teaching us how to do the advanced bits. Now, we have several behaviors. We got offensive, defensive, and passive. They're currently on passive. And then we've also got aggressive, evasive, and neutral. We're currently set to aggressive, which means that we get bonus damage, but our speed is decreased. Now, I'm going to put it down to neutral, because we don't need increased damage. Welcome to the micromanaging that is available in this game that really won't take place in the last mission because my god. Anyway, so assign a formation. Down here we've got a bunch of formations. Now the UI is kind of a bit small for me, so I'm going to enter the options, UI HUD. I'm going to increase everything to 1. I thought, decreasing it to 0.8 would have been a better idea, but apparently not. Top menu, side menu, left side utility buttons, we want to put those to 0.8. Census facility shortcut, we can put that's that. This here, I believe we can see if I do this, right? Yeah. Right. We want... Sorry, I should have done this ages ago, but I want kind of a smaller build section here because that means I can see more stuff. Right, that should work. Right. Left side utility icons. We want those at 0.8. Census facility, that's fine. Top menu, that's fine. Selection panel, that's there. And command icons, which will be on the bottom right, which we can set to 1. Right, good. Turn to game. So if I select these guys, this should be a bit more visible for you. We have a bunch of formations here that are for things that aren't just one type of ship. Currently these are strike fighters, fighter class vessels, and so therefore we don't need it, but we can select a formation along here. So we're going to select Delta formation, and they should form a lovely Delta formation if I move them out a bit. There we go. And they will act like a formation, act like a squadron. In Homeworld 2, each unit is, instead of just one ship, it's multiple ships, but because of balancing in the remastered, since you can use all of the ships from both Homeworld 1 and 2 in the multiplayer, they're effectively the same. If we get enough scouts and set them to wedge formation, no, delta formation, yes, they will become multiple strikes. Right, so we have our formation. We're going to move it towards the trial. Now, whilst we're doing this, we're going to get our lovely resource harvesters. Wow, that beeping's annoying. And we're going to set them to harvest. Returning to our strike fighters, we can see we've got some target drones. Lovely target drones. Holding control, drag clicking, kill everything. Yeah, let's zoom in on you, shall we? No, you. Pretty cool, huh? Now, whilst they're taking care of things, we of course have the resource harvesters doing their job.
Group 1.
Lovely mining laser, because those are the best lasers. We also get the ability to build things, so we can build more scouts. I was in the middle of something, game, whatever.
Formation trial complete. Flight analysis shows a 22% increase in combat performance. The next trial will test the effectiveness of tactics. Stand by to begin tactics trial. Use aggressive or evasive tactics and engage the target drones here.
Right. I was explaining something. So as you can see, this asteroid here has had its resources removed. As you can see, 0 are used and it looks different. This one is the same. However, ones that actually have resources on them aren't so quite scarred. And they're probably scarred due to the mining laser. Yeah. Well, it's not a mining laser, it's... I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So what we're going to need to do, another objective of ours is to build a research ship in order to research. We can have up to 6 of these, and then they'll form a lovely spiral thing. They fit together very nicely. We can also build probes, we can build more resource collectors, we can build salvage corvettes, and scouts. Right, continuing with the combat trials. What's the hotkey? Is that build? Yeah, B is build. Right.
Group 1 reporting.
Okay. Sorry, having to get used to the controls again. So what we're going to do is we're going to start flying over, and then we're going to select evasive or aggressive tactics. Now, evasive will mean that we increase in speed, right? Very useful if you want to get somewhere. Aggressive means we get closer together and we do more damage.
Strike group, prepare for
Pretty
assault.
simple. And then we also have these. Defensive, passive means that they won't attack, unless you tell them to.
The primary research ship is
Defensive means that,
is online. Begin fighter chassis research immediately.
yep, we have that. Defensive means that they will only attack when shot at and they'll hold position, kind of. And then aggressive means that they'll just, you know, if they're attacked, they will continue to follow. It's not advised to have them on aggressive all the time unless you are attempting to hunt down the enemy. Make sure you guys are attacking everything. Excellent. So,
Mothership.
as we can see, resource collectors has just dropped us off some resources. We have resources up
Group
here.
1 has defeated the enemy.
And that's good. Right. Now, I'm going to change something just slightly, and that's going to be the audio settings for speech. I'm going to put that up to about 60, 65. That might help. Okay.
Group 1 copies.
Tactics trial complete. The next trial will test the performance of the salvage corvette. Build 1, and capture the target drone here.
Alright, so we've got scouts, obviously. They go to scouting. As you can see, their sensor bubble, you can see it's kind of a blue hue, is larger than the mothership, for example. We can build proper fighter chassis, which will give us access to the interceptor, I think. Yes. Building this, we get access to interceptor, and also later down the line, attack bomber. The interceptor has a smaller sensor range than this, which means that it's going to be harder to see things. So scouts, pretty useful. Scouts, I think, have exactly the same size as a probe. Probe may have more. Basically, a probe, you tell it to move somewhere, and then you can't move it anymore. Anyway, let's get ourselves about 2 salvage corvettes.
Ready.
Now, if we have a look here, here's a research ship. Very nice. And what these can do is you can have multiple research ships. So if you have another one, it'll attach itself here, and you can have up to 6. And they move rather fine, which is good.
Mothership.
Yeah. So once we get these 2 salvage corvettes, we only need 1, but we'll need 2 later. We should be good. Now, the thing about difficulty, you might have noticed that there wasn't any difficulty option in the menu. This is because this is running on the Homeworld 2 engine instead of the Homeworld 1 engine, noting that Homeworld 1, I believe, had difficulty options. If it didn't, then I'm mistaken. Now, the way that this works is it's adaptive difficulty, which means that the larger your fleet size at the beginning of a mission, the harder the mission. Noting that your fleet from the previous mission goes on to the next, which is why harvesting all the resources in an area and building up your fleet is recommended. However, because of the adaptive difficulty, the larger your fleet at the beginning of the mission, the more enemies you get to face. So, one thing that many people like to do is they like to retire all their ships and then build them at the beginning of a mission, which I find rather boring. However, it does mean don't use all your stocked up resources to build a fleet at the end of a mission. Instead, have something that can help you defend against any first attacks that might happen, and then start building more ships. Of course, you can go over the cap. We've got 70 fighters, 42 corvettes, 21 frigates, 15 capitals, 26 resources, and 30 non-combat. It's quite a significant amount, but trust me, we will go over that if I do it properly. Now, with that done, we should have nearly all the objectives completed. The last one that we need to do is we need to send a salvage corvette over. Now, you may have seen some other people play this, and they will try to move around using this, moving around like this. It's inefficient. You press space to enter Census Manager, you scroll out, you click something, you middle click, you scroll in, and there you go, you're there. In the Homeworld 1 Classic, you were not able to move around using the camera. You had to select a ship and then press the F key or the middle mouse button to focus on it. And then you scroll in, and you scroll out. You look around using right click. You click something, you drag select. Whatever takes your fancy. Drag select, middle click. Focus this on the center of this squadron. Anyway, we should have our lovely salvage corvette go into dock.
Reporting.
Noting that it's just, taken this thing. And we should be good. Now, the colour scheme I've got going on here is one of my own, and, you can change your colour scheme if you want. I went for dark red and yellow.
Internal pressure doors will be sealed in 2 minutes. Abort systems standing by.
Hyperspace module fully charged. I am ready to initiate quantum wave generation on your mark. Good luck, everyone.
All sections have reported in. We are clear to proceed. Trigger the hyperspace drive at your discretion.
Excellent. Now we have this really ugly button in the middle saying hyperspace. I'd really like it to have been down here, out of the way, but whatever. So, we should be able to click hyperspace and then we end the mission, right?
At ease.
So, in Homeworld 1, or at least the Homeworld 1 campaign, whenever you want to leave, you have to click hyperspace and go like this. which means that at the end of a mission you can go and, harvest all the resources that you want, all that. And build up your fleet, change your composition, do some training exercises, which is pretty nice. Now, sometimes you might want to leave a bit early because there are still enemies around and you don't want to get killed by them. Alternatively, you want to stay around and steal all their ships, which is quite nice. Now, we could wait for all our ships to dock, which we will do this time. But when we have, 200 ships, I'm not going to do that. We can simply press quick dock and we will instantly dock and hyperspace away. Now, in Homeworld 2, whenever you end a mission, it will automatically once the objectives are completed, it will then fade out, saying you've completed. All your stuff will automatically dock to your ships. It will fade back in and then show all your ships hyperspacing away. Right, we should be docked. And now for hyperspace. That'll be all for now. Tune in next time for some more Homeworld shenanigans. But until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.